This is called God's second son. They say that God has told them so. St. Donald is the way to go. It has been playing on my mind that churchmen somehow feel inclined to claim that I want you to win, a man whose soul is soused in sin. My general thoughts on sin, if pressed, it's better when they've been confessed. I can't pretend to be impressed when you claim you have not transgressed. It's even worse to say you're blessed if not a single sin's addressed. You try to dodge each earthly judge, or falsely claim they bear a grudge, or that a verdict won't be fair. Perhaps for once you should try prayer. Before you do, know if you try, a heart cannot conceal a lie. Some claim you are my second son, which sounds like something Chung has spun. You who claim you're not a liar, an orange Jesus is America's Messiah. Will you ever claim to feel contrite when from your mouth it's just truth light? It's stormy trying to be so pure, a Daniel's lion's den, I'm sure. 12 US citizens brave and true heard your concept of legal is sadly askew. Threats and tirades led to you being gagged, while Stormy relayed what it's like to be shagged. Had you taken the stand, I'm sure they'd have heard the case Bragg is making, the whole thing's absurd. You're all human scum, I'm no jailbird. Less than 12 hours was all that it took to label St. Donald President Crook. And did a judge not say to you EJC's rape was substantially true? By now it must be very clear the qualms I have won't disappear. Your wires are crossing more and more. That's happened quite a lot before. Like when you told them all drink bleach. I laughed for weeks at that daft speech. Your rallies aim to stigmatize, and it's the weak you victimize. You praise the strong in every pitch, the ivory-towered super rich. 4 words I never hear you state. Don't they suit your verbiage of hate? They're sorry, poor, and meek and weak. Don't they fit in with your critique? Have they no traction with your clique? Is this the path you think is best? That's not the one that I'd suggest. I must admit it takes some skill to tread the path that is free will. That's why I thought that I'd provide the Bible as your go-to guide. I don't mind if the bits you choose are just the bits you want to use, but keep its general thrust in mind. Is doing good and being kind. In terms of goodness, you're quite vague. A shame you'll never see The Hague. In your defense, would Eastman plead? Insanity or just bad speed? Could poor old Clarence have a go, weighed down by gifts from Harlan Crow? Can he hear Jacob Marley's chains, prowling hell but still at pains to warn against ill-gotten gains? Perhaps you should give him a try. His moral compass is awry. Benito Trump, your present course really means I can't endorse you as the man for president, an office that was never meant to house someone who thinks it's great to spew and spew the rhetoric of hate. When all you spouts divide to rule, you come across as just a fool. True statesmen try to reach all kinds, different faiths, colors, minds. But you say what they want to hear, and your policy is sneer and smear. You tell America, take my hand, but offer them no promised land. You cannot point to your New Deal. To me it sounds more like New Steel. What maxims guide your US state? A brave new world that's built on hate. What moral tenets steer your day? What are the dictums you convey? What principles do you display? What evils will your dragon slay? I see no evidence of these amongst the Coke and burger cheese. No moral compass gilds your desk. Perhaps you think you're picaresque, a concept I find just grotesque. Every time you take the stage, you do connect, you do engage. But at your rallies, what's your goal? To rid them of their self-control. That pandering is base and crude. Your words cannot be misconstrued. You whip the crowd into a rage and then release them like a phage. In 21, up on the hill, your mob surged there, intent to kill. You didn't care what blood they'd spill. The United States then watched and saw your true contempt for rule of law. Let's finish now. I've had my say, but I admit to deep dismay the message you and Vance portray. Where does that leave the USA? The simple truth is hard to bear. You lead your country to despair. For you that truth will not taste sweet. Your country's soul needs your defeat. On balance then, I think I'll wait until we meet at heaven's gate. One thing I hope won't bother you. The devil's been invited too.